right, boys and girls, this is going to be part 1 of your reading lesson. So yesterday I asked you to take a picture walk and write down your prediction. I put that on Schoology, so thank you for all of you that did it. I had about half the class. It really, really helps if you do your assignments every day so we can get them into my grade book. Midterm reports are going home on Monday, so I have to have all your assignments. And you all did a picture walk. The author is Sarah Sullivan, and pictures are by Tricia Tusa. And the essential question is, how do people get along? Read about a sister who finds a way to get along with her brother. This is on page 412, so you can pause this, get your reading book out, and turn to this page, and then turn it back on. Okay. And so remember, we want to look for a couple different things while I'm reading. Listen for figurative language or idioms, things like you run so fast you fly towards the ball, or it costs an arm and a leg, and that helps the reader to get a picture in their head. And also look for point of view. We're going to, my second part of my lesson will be point of view, to find the point of view on different pages. So think about how Lizzie's thinking on different pages, okay? Okay, I like these illustrations too. So it's illustrated by Tricia Tusa. From the day that she could talk, Lizzie loved to tell stories. Tall ones, true ones, funny ones, sad ones. Lizzie loved them all. She entertained the people at her mother's office. So when it's in a different type, that means this is her story. And the little girl grew up to be president and brought her parents to live with her in the White House. She made up fairy tales to share with her father during their hikes up Mount Talipia. After slaying dragons in the forest, the princess gave a surprise birthday party for the king. That's again her writing is in a different type. She spun yarns for Big George. It says, the beautiful girl and her handsome dog took a rocket to the moon and discovered a new planet in the solar system. Until everything was fine until her little brother Marvin came along. So she was happy at the beginning of the story because she was just her and her parents and her dog. And now Marvin's coming along. When Lizzie tried to tell a story before breakfast, her mother said, not now, dear. Marvin has a dirty diaper. When she tried to tell her father a story after dinner, he said, maybe later, Lizzie. It's time for Marvin's bath. And remember we learned about quotation marks last couple weeks? Remember when those quotation marks are around words, that means that's what the character is saying. Luckily for Lizzie, Big George, the doggy, Big George still loved her stories. He would listen for hours. Stories about dogs were his favorite. The faithful Labrador rescued his master from the storm-tossed seas. Arf, arf! When Lizzie started second grade, she discovered her teacher, Miss Pennyroyal, loves stories too. All the kids in Miss Pennyroyal's class got to write stories and take turns reading them out loud. The brave young girl rescued her teacher from the alligator pit. There's one story right there. Remember the different type? Oh, I like this teacher sitting down listening. Lizzie loved Miss Pennyroyal's second grade. I like that. I like all the happy children. At home, Marvin loved his big sister, Lizzie. Aw, look at Marvin in his diaper. Take her out just to go. Just in the front yard. He helped her make her bed. Uh-oh, does that look made? No. He helped her brush her teeth. He even shared his oatmeal. Look at that, he's spilling everywhere. The toothpaste is getting everywhere. Lizzie couldn't wait to get to school every morning. All right, what's her point of view? Why can she not wait to get to school? Yeah, because Marvin's getting into everything of hers, making everything a mess. She's like, ugh, I want to get to school and get out of here. At school, Miss Pennyroyal taught her students how to create interesting characters. Think about what makes your characters different from everybody else's, she said, and describe that in your stories. Easy peasy, thought Lizzie. She got out her Princess Merryweather pencil. While the other kids brainstormed, Lizzie started writing. There she is. Look at her pencil. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. There she is writing. She wrote all through recess. She still was writing when the other kids ate lunch. Can I go first, please? Lizzie asked when it was time to share the stories out loud. She wrote all the way through her recess. Woo! I like that. That shows she loves writing. There's only one creature with footprints like this, Captain. You don't mean. I'm afraid, sir, the Yeti is on the rampage again. So that's her writing. So it's a different script. Nice to see you using those new vocabulary words, said Miss Pennyroyal. Thank you, said Lizzie. Look at how she's on the ground. That is so cute. I like that teacher. The next day, while Lizzie was at school, Marvin found a tube of gold and glitter glue in Lizzie's desk drawer. Uh-oh. He made golden glitter swirls all over her favorite stuffed bear, Sebastian. Lizzie was not amused. Not amused. Look at it has glitter all over it. Not amused. Big sisters need to be patient, said Lizzie's mother. Babies can't help making messes, said Lizzie's father. So Lizzie's point of view is she's like, I don't like this at all. And the parents are like, you just need to be patient. He's fine. He's a baby. Lizzie curled up in her bedroom with her imagination notebook and wrote a new story. Once there was a beautiful princess who lived in a castle by the sea. She made her parents very happy. Then the ugly prince was born. He cried all the time and made lots of messes. So the beautiful princess banished the ugly prince to a desert island. This castle is getting crowded, she told. This castle is getting way too crowded, she told her trusty steed. I like that. Look at how nice her handwriting is. Look like she put beautiful in cursive handwriting. Lizzie was happy to go to school the next day. The kids in Miss Pennyroll's class were still writing stories about interesting characters. Lizzie had tons of ideas. It was hard to find time to write them all down. Run for your lives, it's the Marvinosaurus. Marvin's the nastiest pirate that ever sailed the sea. Watch your fingers, there's a Marvin fish circling below. Uh-oh, everything has to do with her brother in a negative way. Aww. There's a picture on this side. I don't believe it. I don't believe I've ever heard of Marvin fish, said Miss Pennyroyal. It must be very rare. Oh, it is, said Lizzie. You hardly ever see one. On Friday, Lizzie's mother announced she was taking Marvin to visit Grandma. I hope you won't miss your little brothers too much, she said. No, Marvin. Lizzie was thrilled. So it's just going to be her at her grandmother's house. She was super excited. After spaghetti for dinner, she and her father played a long game of checkers. The next afternoon, Lizzie sharpened a whole box of pencils. She dusted the furniture with her Princess Merryweather castle card. She rearranged her stuffed animals on her bed 12 times. But something was missing. What's your prediction? What is missing? I think she's going to miss her brother. Even though he's a pain. At school, Miss Pennyweather announced a new project. Now that we know about creating characters, we're going to write down our own comic book, she said. Everyone needs to think of a character who will have lots of adventures. Lizzie took out her Princess Merryweather pencil. She doodled. She stared out the window. For the first time, she couldn't think of a single idea. That night, while Lizzie's father worked on a sales report for his meeting, Lizzie tried to work on her comic book. She drew stars on the cover of her imagination notebook. She started out as a liver-shaped spot at the ceiling. She stared at a liver-shaped spot on the ceiling. She even cleaned out her sock drawer. Once in a far-off galaxy, she wrote, and then nothing. That's called writer's block. She can't think of anything to write. Huh. That's unusual for her. The next day at school, the kids in Miss Pennyroyal's class turned in their comic book projects. Everyone except for Lizzie. Remember, the deadline is the day after tomorrow, said Miss Pennyroyal. I know, Lizzie moaned. Maybe you need a fresh inspiration, said Miss Pennyroyal. Maybe, said Lizzie. She chewed on the end of her pencil. She chewed on the end of her Princess Merryweather pencil. It was a dark and stormy night, she wrote, and then nothing. She's having a hard time getting any kind of ideas of what to write. At home, Lizzie looked for inspiration. She listened to music and she drew pictures on blank sheets of paper. She reread her favorite fairy tales. She studied the comics in the Sunday paper. Nothing helped. I'll never think of a character for my comic book, Lizzie moaned. Aww. So it says, what did she do for inspiration? Let's go back and reread. She listened to music. She drew pictures. She reread her fairy tales and she studied comic books. Those are 4 things that she did. Oh, she can't think of anything. She went downstairs for a glass of juice. Mugworts, said the chrysanthemum. Marvin, said Lizzie. When did you get home? So Marvin said, mugworts. So he's hiding behind the thing. He's right here. Marvin, when did you get home? So Marvin was at Grandma's house, and Lizzie's now excited that he's home. Zip-whiffle, said Marvin. Then he knocked over Lizzie's juice. Oh, Marvin, said Lizzie. Loops, said Marvin. Look at this, she's not getting too mad. Lizzie thought about Miss Pennyroyal's instructions. Interesting characters. Lots of adventures. So who's she going to write about? Marvin! Look, she's got a little thing in her eye like, ha-ha. Lizzie carried her Princess Merryweather pencil upstairs. She wrote until bedtime and while she was brushing her teeth. She was still writing during recess the next day. Is your comic book ready to turn in? Asked Miss Pennyroyal. Not quite, said Lizzie. I need to show it to someone at home first. Okay, as long as you turn it in tomorrow, said Miss Pennyroyal. I guess she's doing it during recess. I love it. Who do you think she's going to show at home? Marvin? I think so too. While her mother cooked dinner, Lizzie pulled Marvin into her lap. Listen to this, she said. The Amazing Adventures of Marvin with Big George the Wonder Dog. Run for your lives, said the mayor. And here's Marvin right here. Goo goo. Out of the sky. Aliens have landed. They're taking over the city. Out of the sky swooped the amazing Marvin with a Big George the Wonder Dog. So she made a comic book, and Marvin is the good guy. He's trying to save everybody. Soon all was peaceful in the city again. Yay, Marvin! The people cheered. The mayor gave the key to the city. Long live the amazing Marvin, everyone shouted. That's in her book. And over here, Lizzie gave Marvin a hug. Big George lifted his chin and howled. That's only the beginning, said Lizzie. Wait till you see what happens in episode 2. Aww, look at the doggy. Look how cute he looks. And the end. Okay, so I'm going to stop this here, and then I'm going to put another video up talking about point of view. Okay, wasn't that a fun story?